And again, the margins on this are absolutely insane for print on demand. Like you just don't normally find that in print on demand, especially with shirts and mugs and stuff like that. All right, so I don't care what anyone says. The proof is in the data. The proof is in the numbers. I am very much a data-driven person. So when someone says, is Etsy still worth it in 2026? Or is it too saturated? Or can you even get into Etsy anymore, right? I say, don't trust my word for it. Let's just look at the data. We don't need opinions. We don't need guesses. We can literally just look at the facts. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Etsy in 2026 is still the best opportunity for e-commerce, but like anything, the people that actually make it for the long play, they're not the smartest, they're not the luckiest, they're just the ones that treat it like a real business and are constantly adapting and changing and growing with the times. They have a long-term mindset to win. So let's go ahead and actually look at the numbers here to see what the data actually says. By the way, you are not going to want to miss examples 3 and 4. Both of these opportunities are completely untouched and high margins. I can't even believe that I'm sharing this right now because they're that good. So the very first thing I did here was I used a tool Profitry to actually search for a product, right? We're just going to go shopping for products to sell, and let's just see if we can actually find something that is picking up in a short amount of time. So all I did was literally come down here, selected the category books, movies, and music, and I put the shop age must be less than 6 months old, 3% sale to listing ratio, and they're only 5 months old. They already have 400 reviews and over 3,000 sales. Guys, they're like almost at 4,000 sales. This is like hundreds of sales every single month for a brand new shop. This is insane. Let's see how many active listings they have. They have only 40 active listings. So let's just investigate this and see if this is actually real. So 3,800 sales in 5 months for a brand new shop is literally insane. Estimated of over $200,000 in revenue their first 5 months in business is crazy, right? These demand indicators are saying that 28% of their listings are getting regular daily sales, right? So let's go and view some of their actual listings here to see what they're selling. So these are just basic print on demand baby books, right? Sale price is starting at $30. And yeah, they only have 40 listings. So if you don't know, baby books, so these are personalized baby books. Like this is insane. So first of all, can you do print on demand for baby books? Yes. The only provider that does it is actually Gelato. So if I come to Gelato and I come into their photo books section, they're actually the only print provider that does soft cover and hardcover photo books, but you can use these as baby books. So if you guys haven't watched my full case study on this, I will link below the video to a full case study on how to do baby books on Etsy with Gelato, because Gelato is truly the only one that has baby books. But I mean, I haven't checked the data on this recently, but I mean, the fact that this shop is 5 months old and they've already done 200K, that's absolutely insane. So if we come back to the listing view here, let's just actually try to figure out which listing is the one that actually is getting the most monthly sales. So it looks like it's this one. If we click on the view listing report, right, we're seeing that just this one listing is only 4 months old and already at about 15K revenue. 9 sold in the last 24 hours, right? And you can just see this is just on an upward sales trajectory. Now, if we actually go ahead and view this on Etsy, it is a live selling listing. It is not doing anything in terms of trademark infringement. It's just a personalized baby books. And with the ability to choose your character, add your name, right? All of this stuff that you can just automate. Again, I have a full case study on this that you can go check out. So that's just in one space. Let's see if we can find some other spaces here. Let's go back to Shop Finder. In this next search, I literally just put clothing from the drop-down menu here, and I still have that 6 months filter on. And you can see this first shop here has already had 2,400 sales in 2 months. Now, this is a lot. This one's also 1,900 sales in 6 months. Now, I'm just curious. Let's make sure they're not doing anything trademarked here. In this first shop, it just kind of looks, at the first glance, it kind of just looks like we have 4th of July here, national parks here. This one might be something from a reference from a book or a movie. By the way, guys, if it like this to me, I don't know, this looks like it's something from a movie. By the way, guys, you can get trademark approval from certain books and movies. You just have to go through the legal steps of actually doing it. And if you put in the time and energy or even in money and things where you can legally get the rights to make apparel for certain things, especially in the book world, right? This can be very, very profitable for you. Even if you have to pay a fee back to the company or organization, if it's going to do things like this, where the listing is 2 months old and already $13,000 in revenue, it's worth taking those extra steps that other people are not going to take just so you can hold the rights to it. So these are all, by the way, comfort color shirts, which again, you can find right here on Gelato, right? With Gelato Plus, you can see you can source this for about $13, right? And it's going to be about $5 to ship. If you look at the actual listing, it looks like they are charging a little bit extra for shipping. So they're even probably making a couple of cents on that shipping. So their margins on all of these products are sitting around 20% for these comfort color shirts. Now, a lot of these are not trademarked. Some of these are just literal generic shirts and they're doing absolutely amazing. So let's just see here. They have 700 listings. They've gotten up to 700 listings in the last 2 months. So that probably tells me that they are definitely using AI to help them bulk edit, which is something that you are going to want to learn how to do to be competitive in the space with print on demand now, just to speed up how fast you are putting out designs. For this next one, I don't think I've been this excited about a print on demand product in a while. So I just did paper and party supplies, and you can see this shop here has 3,000 sales and they are only 5 months old, right? They have a low listing sales ratio, but they have already 1,400 active listings, which is a lot, which I don't think that you need to do that to achieve these numbers. Now, what's really cool is that when you view the listings for this shop, you can see that all of their listings are actually listed as physical items here, right? They're not listed as digital items. You see they're listed as physical. So if we click on just say this one that has a high demand badge here, if we click on this listing, we can see that it is actually a invitation template. It's a hand-drawn invitation template, meaning they have it listed as physical, but it's actually a digital. And we can actually see that as well when we click on the listing. So $494 for just the digital product, right? And it's because they have this self-edit or we edit option with an upsell, which I think is a great idea. So what I think would be even a bigger win for something like this is because people are clicking on this thinking that it is the physical item because they have it listed as physical and they're seeing $4, right? But what you actually get is just the digital file, which this alone is already working, and they have the self-edit and we edit option. Now, if we took this a step further and added additional options with actual real card stock, right? So in Gelato, you have these options for different packs of greeting cards. And now, wait a second, let's just look at the price. For 10 matte paper or silk paper, matte is the more expensive one. Let's go to a 5x7 matte paper card for a pack of 10. It's only $6.75. With shipping, it's going to put you at maybe $13. Now, if we look at other greeting or birthday cards that get printed for you, if we look at how much they're selling for, so here's an example, right? 20 added cards. This is selling for $70 for 12 cards front and back with the invitation with the envelope. This is selling with the envelope. You can do front and back, 10 greeting cards, right? Let's just do premium envelopes just to make it a little more expensive, right? That's $7 plus $6.52. I mean, that's $15. This is like an 80% profit margin. If we went out and actually sold, I mean, this one they're getting 12, you're getting 10. So even if you sold it for $60, that is an insane profit margin for a product that you never have to touch, right? And this shop is brand spanking new, right? So because they're only selling the digital product, I would guess that your sales here would actually be double, if not triple, if you're offering the tier of upsells of the real thing in 5 months. This is an out of the gates, immediate successful shop. And again, the margins on this are absolutely insane for print on demand. Like you just don't normally find that in print on demand, especially with shirts and mugs and stuff like that. And finally, number 4 is 3D wood framed custom portraits. So why is no one doing this? I have no idea, but you can find example after example where the profit margins on this are very, very high, because the nature of this is that you can sell it high ticket, because this is, since it's 3D custom wall art in a floating frame, which is a very desirable type of portrait. So you can see some examples here of some B-roll that I'll play, some that I actually printed with Gelato just to actually test the quality, because I wasn't convinced that the quality would be good enough to sell at high ticket. But as you can see here, attention to detail and the quality of the actual print on the canvas was really, really good. And actually in some of these images, I was worried that my own quality of the image wasn't strong enough to be blown up this large, because you can see there's some really large prints here, and this photo portrait display wall looks absolutely insane. So now let me walk you through the steps on how to get this printed with Gelato. So you can see this is a custom photo portrait, right? So similar to the ones that we printed, right? But this knockup isn't even that great. So you can see the 20 edit cards indicator, it's only 9 months old, 6 monthly sales on a high ticket good. Now where it gets you is the loss leader pricing here, right? So they're clicking here at $25, but then as you can see, this listing goes all the way up to $300. And they're also offering just rolled canvas, which is how they're getting that lower ticket price. Now, the great thing is that Gelato offers not all of these sizes, but enough to produce this same end result and to compete on this same level. So inside of Gelato here, when you come to their catalog, we're going to go to wall art. So you can see here they have the canvases, so that exact canvas that we were looking for, and the frame canvas, right? So what we printed was this on that wood frame, and that is the quality that you are observing in our B-roll, right? But because that listing is also selling canvas, just a canvas without a frame, that's what's actually allowing them to show that cheaper price on the front end. So let's actually change the currency here to United States dollar. Right. So you can see the wood frame price here starts at $38 for the smallest size, right? But when we go up to the largest size at 24 by 36, right, the price is going to go ahead and change to $134 for that mega large size. However, when we go to canvas here, let's just see what the smallest size canvas starts at, right? The 8x8 slim canvas is starting at $9.35 with the Gelato Plus, right? Now, if we wanted to go thick, starting at thick canvas, that price then changes to $20. So I would start with the thin. I would offer both, right? I would offer slim and thick, and I would start at the smallest size and work its way all the way up, right? So that drop down menu can support all of those variation options like the one you are competing with. Now, remember, every single time you get a sale for this, right, inside of your Gelato account, you're just going to go ahead and switch out the picture with the picture that the customer supplies you. And then Gelato is going to go ahead and print and ship it directly to your customer. This is amazing margins. Even on this, this is a great margin on a product that you absolutely never have to touch. And you can see here, this listing is only 9 months old. We can also see the tags it's using, right? And their reviews. I'm going to guess that their biggest complaint is probably the quality. This one said that it was broken. So they're complaining here about just a coming damaged or broken. So you're just going to want to make sure that the shipping that you use has some sort of insurance, or just honor it, because you beating the reviews and being able to beat this main image is the difference between you making or breaking your listing, right? You're just trying to compete with what is already proven. And since it's proven, we know it can work. All right, guys, I hope this was enough data for you to make a decision on whether or not you wanted to get an Etsy, whether you take one of these ideas or you use this same strategy to find new ideas. I hope you got some valuable information here to make your own data-driven decisions. See you in the next video.